Hi, everybody. It is episode 595 of PodQuest.
Hey.
It is Wednesday, January 7th, 2026. 6? Not 6th. 26. I am Chris. With me is Walnut.
Yeah.
Yeah, just us this week. Drew will be back next week when we talk about Happy Gilmore, too, right?
Yes.
Club?
I believe that's what we chose.
Yeah.
I believe that's what we chose.
But yeah, we're here. It's post-holiday. It's post-holiday. Yeah. We don't have a ton going on at the moment. So it's going to, probably a little bit of a lighter episode. But Richard over here has some he has some airing of grievances, it sounds like.
Yeah. So we were talking like our just pre-show talking and conversating about how we're doing and whatnot. And I straight up said to him, like, I am physically and emotionally exhausted from the drain of fighting this boss in Expedition 33. For any fans of Expedition 33, you will know the name Simon, because you have most likely fought him and either given up or kept trying and beat him. No, that's Renoir. Simon is an optional boss. Simon is... You do not know Simon. You specific. But anybody who likes to explore the end game and post-game content, because technically I should have gone and beaten the game and then reloaded before beating the game and done all the rest of this shit, because from what I hear, I'm going to have such an easy time with the final boss. This is a post-game boss, like level 90 plus, is when they suggest you come here. And I thought it, because I didn't start seeing like videos and shorts about this boss until after they released the thank you update. So I thought this was a DLC boss. I didn't realize that this was like a main game boss. But it is. His name is Simon. He is broken up into 3 phases. Phase 1, pretty easy. And to be honest, I can kind of just not even paying attention beat him now. But when you beat him, you take him all the way down. It actually gives you a boss defeated screen, like a battle complete screen, and you get experience. He goes into a cutscene and then immediately into another boss fight. And if you lose during this second boss fight, at any point during this boss fight you lose, you have to redo the first phase. Even though they're 2 separate fights, you still have to redo the first phase because it doesn't save in that screen and cutscene between. It doesn't like mark you as like, all right, you beat that first phase, now you go to the second. No. So you have to do both phases. And I have been attempting this boss for 3 freaking days now. 3 days. And it's... First phase is fine. He has 3 attacks. He has... Let's see. He's got his short combo, his long combo, and his dropping his sword. And then his bring you down to 1 HP. That he does like every turn anyway. So I don't count that as an attack because it just happens at the end of a turn. But he has 3... Okay. He has 3 attacks in his first phase. The long combo... 4 attacks. Long combo, powerful combo, short combo, and dropping his sword. After the best way to defeat him is to parry these to get the counters. I mean, you can dodge them all. It's fine. He's not a gimmick where you have to dodge or you have to parry to kill him. It is just a straight up, like, you just have to deal enough damage to him. So you can dodge it. But parrying it gives you the more damage or gives you the increased stagger bar and stuff like that. Then in the second phase, he loses his dropping the sword combo, as far as I know. I've not seen it in the 3 days I've been doing the second phase. He loses his dropping the sword combo, but he adds the Sword of Lumiere and the light speed attack, which the Sword of Lumiere is a 7-hit combo, and light speed attack is like a 10-hit combo. But on top of that, his short combo, powerful combo, and long combo gets a shadow. So every hit comes twice. So you have to parry it twice. And it's pretty rapid after itself.
Okay.
So, like, for me, I've learned the short and the powerful. I've pretty much gotten the long. I've basically gotten that down for a parry. So those 3, I'm good. The Lumiere, the Sword of Lumiere, and the light speed attack, I still quite don't have, so I'm just dodging those. And I was feeling top of the world nearing the end of stream yesterday because I had the longest fight I had against him, and I brought him down to a quarter of his health left, maybe less, maybe a third.
What
Or
if?
a third would be more. So
What
I'd say
if
a
when you
quarter.
defeat him? What if when his health drops to 0, he gets up and his health bar refills and you have to fight him again?
Worse. 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 At a quarter of his health left, he insta-wipes your party, you can't dodge it, and forces you to use your B team. And that activates phase 3, where his short, his long, and his powerful, each attack hits 3 times.
Well, could you, and this is a legit question because I don't know, could you go into the battle with your B team? This way, when he wipes them, he's wiping them, and you can then have your better team when he gets stronger.
Essentially, yes, you could. It just, my B team has roughly 100 less Lumina than my A team, and is about 3 to 4 levels lower than my A team, because I do not like how they play, so I don't use them.
That's fair. I'm gonna be honest,
And
I actually didn't know there were enough characters to have like multiple teams.
the other thing is the B team is only 2 instead of 3, because there's only 5 playable characters in the game, which is also frustrating. So they cut 3 down and make you only use 2. And like, if you weren't prepared for this, you have weaker characters.
Well, I wonder.
You then have to learn a counter better. You have to learn dodges better because it happens 3 times instead of twice for each attack of those 3 hits that I told you about.
Can you go into a fight with only 2 people on your team?
Yeah, you can go into a fight with 1 person on your team.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I wonder if that's like the play there is you go into it with like 2 characters that are on the weaker side, or like one good, one bad. This way, you still have a full team and mostly good characters for the back half of the fight where it gets harder.
That's what I'm leaning towards, is some sort of combination of A and B team for the first and second phase. It's just, I need to shift around my B team's abilities and stats and things like that to make sure that they can like keep up with the DPS. Because that's the other problem, is since they are about 100 Lumina short, they don't have all the same abilities and all the same pictos as the A team. So they're missing out on some damage potential and shit like that. And I don't know their abilities well enough. Like, so it's Sael and Monoko are the last 2 that you get. You may have gotten Sael.
No, I only have the 3 characters. I have
okay, so
Gustav and then the 2 ladies.
Yeah, so you're on your way to get Sael. You get Sael shortly after you get Mael. And Sael, the way she's got an interesting mechanic where when she uses an ability, her ability, depending on if she uses an ability, okay, her abilities are kind of card based, like tarot cards. But each ability is either a sun card or a moon card. If it is a sun card, it generates a mechanic called Foretell, which can be built up to 10. If it's a moon card, it uses the Foretell on the enemy to make it stronger, or to do other aspects. Like, one of her attacks will take the Foretell off the enemy and divvy it up as AP to the party members. Or one of them will take the Foretell and heal the party members, stuff like that. When you use a sun card and a moon card, then she enters a state into Twilight, where the sun card production doubles and can be up to 20. She deals extra damage, and the moon card, because she's dealing more damage, you can essentially, and the card count doubles, you could essentially get 20 more, you could get more damage. But that Twilight is only active for 2 turns. The turn that you first enter it, and then the turn after. So if you have them most characters at this point, because I have a picto called Cheater, where they go back to back, if she doesn't have a lot of AP and she doesn't have high AP generation, then she's not really going to be able to utilize the Twilight ability that well. And it's just, she is a hard, not a hard mechanic, but like it's kind of not a great mechanic to me based in this system. And then Minoko, he's cooler. He has a radial wheel of masks, and each of them have different. So it's a like an agility mask, a power mask, a defense mask, a casting mask, and then the almighty mask is what they call it, which is the best one. When you use an ability of his, it will rotate the radial wheel to a certain mask, and depending on the mask that's highlighted, will determine special abilities for each of his abilities that he uses. So, for instance, if you're in the caster mask and you're using a caster ability, it will deal extra damage, or it will heal people more, or something like that. So, like, his mechanic is cool, but I don't know what his abilities really do, because I probably don't have his best ability because he is a blue mage. So
Okay.
in order to get his abilities, he needs to be in your party when you kill certain enemies. And I have a lot of them, but I don't have them all. So I don't, and he has a ton of abilities. He has like
Usually
50.
how those sort of characters go.
He has like 50 abilities, and so I'm like, I don't know what's best with him because I just don't really like him or utilize him. So like I'm now at that point of how do I set up my team so that I can still keep the DPS, have the first two rounds go smooth, and then when he wipes the first two, bring in the next three? Or should I set it up to where like my second round is only two of the A team instead of three of the A team, which is something I could possibly do, but then it's just getting to round phase 3 consistently, which I was able to get there twice, so that's good. But getting to phase 3 consistently and then learning the timing on phase 3 attacks, especially the ones that hit 3 times per hit instead of just once or twice per hit. Because I now need to go 15 minutes into a fight before I enter this phase and then learn this phase. It's defeating.
That seems like a lot.
It's defeating. It's like...
It's an optional boss, though, too, right?
It's optional, yes. I don't have to do it, but at this point I'm 3 days in. I've spent so much time doing it. I've learned so much of it. I need to finish it now because I've spent this much time. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I've been playing Expedition 33 since November, man. I'm starting to get a little burnt out. That's part of why it went to once a week for a while, but I feel like the once a week is also causing me to be burnt out. So
almost like if you didn't 100% games, it would be more fun.
No, it's not the 100% part. It's taken me 2 months to get to this point. Almost
100%ing RPGs is just a grueling.
Yeah, but it's like if I was doing this, if I did this in a month and I only played Expedition 33 and I played it every day for a month and I beat it, like, and I did all this, like, it would be fine if I spent more time in the first month or so. But there is just so much going on between the time that I started playing this game and now, and taking breaks and playing other games, and like I am kind of just ready to move on to something else in a sense, but I don't want to, especially with this fight, I don't want to go on to play something else and then come back to this and lose everything that I've gained. So I'm kind of in like a stuck mode of I have mostly the muscle memory for this that I need to just get it done. Which also means I don't want to go and grind to get Colors of Lumina to upgrade my 2 B team characters.
Right. Yeah. Because it's a lot more time you'd be spending with something that, well, you don't dislike it. You're ready to move on to the next thing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's getting to be like, I mean, if I can beat Simon, I'll go beat the game and I'll come back to do the DLC some other time. The other thing that kind of defeated me was they have this thing called the Endless Tower, which is it's 33 trials, because Expedition 33 trials makes sense. Once you get through those 33 trials, there are also 3 other fights in this thing that I did not know about. And I went to go attempt them, and they are all incredibly difficult trials. And I'm like, kind of over that. Like, I wasn't expecting this. I wasn't expecting 3 more fights. or 4 more fights, because there's 3 and then there's something far back once you complete the 3. So there's 4 more fights, and I'm like, this is ridiculous. And even like the character in the tower that you can talk to, the NPC in the tower that you can talk to, says like, just so you know, if you're not having fun, just leave. You're fine if you leave. You don't have to do this. Like, they're like, straight up, this is optional. They're like, the game is telling you this is optional. If you're not having fun, walk away. And that's what I ended up doing. I also finally, I don't know if, I thought I tried it before, but I thought I couldn't do it. I've rebound keys and button layout for my controller.
Oh, nice.
Because parrying was too difficult on the bumper. To the point where, like, if it came to a fight where I had to parry, I was holding the controller up and using my thumb to hit the bumper. But I still wasn't hitting it properly because the bumpers just hit differently and have a different button layout. So I was able to finally rebind the parry from the bumper to X, and it's made me better with the parries.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it's even a more comfortable, like, I would honestly suggest you do the same. Because, like, hitting right bumper to parry, and parrying is important in this game, because it gives you that counterattack mechanic. Like, hitting the bumper with your finger, like, it just doesn't work for me when it comes to getting the perfectly timed button presses. The B, hitting the button with my thumb is a lot more precise, in my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah. So when you do play this, because you said you got it, right?
Yeah, I haven't. Yeah, Erica got it off of my Steam wishlist, so I'll be playing on the Steam Deck at some point.
Yeah. So I suggest you rebind your keys to X, and it's just there's nothing in X there's nothing that you do with X in combat outside, like, I don't even think in combat in defensive stance, like when enemies are attacking. So you're not even changing anything. You're just moving it from right bumper to X. In my opinion, it's going to feel so much better, especially with this the Steam Deck. I think it's going to feel so much better.
Well, I also some stuff like that I also put on the back bumpers because the Steam Deck has 4 paddles on the back, which are also really nice for like those sorts of things because you don't have to have your hands. Because like I feel like you probably have a similar thought. Like when you're holding a controller, you generally don't rest your fingers on the bumpers. If anything, you're resting them like right around the actual triggers.
Yeah.
So like when you have to use the bumper, you're like kind of changing how you're holding it.
Yeah, I mean, my index fingers are on the triggers when I'm holding it. Like, I don't use my middle fingers. I use my index fingers. They're on the triggers.
Exactly. And your index finger does the bumper and the trigger, not just...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, like, when I know I'm trying to time something on the bumper, like, my reaction is to press it, like, to lift my finger and press it and not just hold it and tap it. And so, like, I couldn't get that timing down perfectly.
Oh, okay.
But with the like, I could get it a little bit better and quicker with hitting it with the thumb.
Right.
And
yeah,
there is also
paddles because your fingers do just kind of rest on them, so it really is just more of a like you're just kind of twitching them down.
Yeah. There's also like in Expedition 33 at least there's the jump counter. So I don't know if you've encountered it before, but when you'll see a specific icon on screen, you have to hit A to jump over the attack and then hit the trigger to hit the attack. And that's not as you don't have to be as precise as everything else. You just have to hit it and then tap it like I'll literally hit A and keep tapping the trigger until it works. Like I just keep tapping it. It won't mess up if you're tapping it. So like there are uses for that top button, and so like it got when I was fighting Clair, which is another optional boss that you need to parry with, my controller kept like moving up and down because I would pull up the controller to hit the right bumper with my thumb, and then drop the controller to jump, hit the right trigger, and then bring the controller back up to be hitting the bumper with my thumb again. And I'm like, man, if only I could have rebound the keys back then, that fight would have been so much different. And I probably would have gotten it done in less than 4 hours. That fight literally took me 4 hours.
I mean, no wonder you've been playing this game since November.
That's the only fight that ever took me long. Because that character has a mechanic, I might have told you about it, where if it hits you with any of its attacks, it heals. And if you dodge, it still heals. You need to parry every hit that this enemy does in order to damage it, or in order to be able to keep it from regaining health. So, like, it was a long learning process, and then when I finally figured it out, it was still like from like minor misclicks or minor misinputs. I would bring it down to more than half or to a quarter, and then it would go back up to over half or to 3/4, and then I have to whittle it back down again. It's a tug of war. It's a tug of war, and it took me 4 hours, I think. Hold on, I made a short about it when I did it. But yeah, it took me until about 2 a.m. I yelled so loud I scared Chase. I was let's see. It says 2 hours, but I had fought it a little bit before and failed out. My highest damage output was 2 million in one hit, 2 million damage, over 2 million, 2.7 million damage. The damage I dealt in the fight total was 84 million damage that I dealt in. Yeah, because like it's the tug of war, so it keeps going up and down, up and down. And the 2 million damage was maybe an eighth of its health bar, maybe like a fifth, but like somewhere between there. It wasn't that much. 800 successful parries with 2 successful dodges. I don't know why I did 2 successful dodges, but I did. But yeah, it was a lot.
It sounds it. You want to move on?
Yeah, let's move on. Cobb, you got some things to talk about. I've just been struggling against Simon, so that's really all I got.
Yeah, nothing crazy this week, but I did play over the holiday some of that Marvel Cosmic Invasion.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, have you haven't touched that yet, right?
No, not yet. Not yet.
You've been playing too much Expedition 33.
I mean, yeah, but it's also yeah, I mean, I've been playing a lot of Expedition 33, but also it's been Expedition 33 and stuff. Look, that game has a lot to do in it, and that's honestly, it's where the game shines, is the post-game content. It like the whole game is great.
Look, we're not
but
talking
the
about
end game content shines.
We moved on.
Just saying.
We've moved on. I'm kidding. But yeah, Marvel Cosmic Invasion, the side-scrolling beat 'em up that came out October-ish.
December.
No.
December 1st, 2025.
No, you're a liar.
No, I'm looking at it right now. December 1st, 2025.
You're a liar.
Nope. I don't lie about stuff I'm reading right in front of my face.
Was it released for like early access or something? A demo released in October. Okay. That's why I thought it had been around longer. That makes a little more sense. But it's really cool. So if anyone hasn't seen it yet, it is akin to the like X-Men arcade game, or like some of the more recent what was the Ninja Turtles one from a few years ago, Shredder's Revenge?
Yeah, Shredder's Revenge, stuff like that.
You know, that classic like 16-bit aesthetic side-scroll beat 'em up.
Yeah.
All Marvel characters, so it's not just one group of heroes. It's not the Avengers, X-Men explicitly. The roster actually goes pretty deep too. Like right out of the bat, I want to say Beta Ray Bill is playable. Cosmic Ghost Rider is playable. She-Hulk, Spider-Man, Captain America, Storm, Nova. Like that, there's a lot of characters to kind of play right out of the bat, and you unlock more like as you go, as you would expect in that sort of game. It's not totally open, but you do have a lot of options as you're playing. Generally, there's like one level, and then you get to pick between two. You have to complete 2 of them though to move on to the next one. So it's one of those like you get to pick what order you do them in, but you don't necessarily like. It's not like it's altering your path necessarily. And every level has like 2 characters that it kind of wants you to use in it. Like there are challenges in a level based around the characters. And the thing that this game does is it's tag team. Even single player, it's tag team, where you always go into a level with 2 heroes selected, and you can just swap them out on the fly. If you're in the middle of attacking and you hit the swap button, the other hero just kind of like pops in, does some attacks themselves, and like pops back out, and you keep going with the character you have. You can also just actually swap who you're using. It's a good way that if you're, low on health, you can swap out before the one character dies, get some more health pickups, and this way you have that character available again. Or depending on how like you're balancing as you're playing, like having like a brawling character like She-Hulk or something, and somebody that's a little more range based like Nova or Iron Man. And like everyone has, basic attacks, special attacks, and like super attacks. And there's a shared pool of energy to like use those between your characters that you build up as you're playing. Every level has like some sort of boss like you'd expect from these games. But like I was saying before, every level has like 3 challenges. Usually one of them is it's just generic to the level, like don't get hit by like a certain part of the level. And then there's usually one for each hero that it wants you to use for it. And it's usually like use this hero's ability or knock enemies off like a ledge with this hero sort of thing. And I've been purposely not looking at the challenges before getting into the level, to see how close I can get to picking the right team for each level. Because generally, like the location that you're going to. So a lot of times you can kind of like ballpark who you think the team might be. I've been pretty good most of the time. I at least get one of them right every time. And for a bunch of the levels, I have gotten both of them. There's a few times where I want to say it might have been like the Wildlands level. I expected it to be Wolverine and it was Storm from the X-Men that they wanted you to pick. So like that one just seemed a little like, okay, well that doesn't make as much sense, but I guess I haven't really used Storm yet. So I guess that was kind of their way of making sure you kind of use as many of the characters on like the early half of the game as you can.
Yeah.
And what else is there in this? Oh, voice acting. So characters are voiced. In a lot of cases, from what I've seen so far, if they have existed in like other animated forms, the voice actor is an actor that has done the character before. So like Wolverine's voice actor is the animated series voice actor. I'm pretty sure Storm is too, though it might be the reboot voice actress. Because I feel like at least one of the original animated series actors had passed away since that series, and they were replaced for the reboot or the continuation, whatever you want to call that. But yeah, even like Spider-Man is was it Josh Keaton who did, I want to say, Spectacular Spider-Man, like one of the Disney shows in like late 2000 early 2010s. So like it's cool, like they're actually getting people that have done the voices in the past, so there's some sort of like, I don't know, connective tissue between like other animated properties that way. And yeah, otherwise like the game plays really well. All of the combat feels really good in it. It's not like a button mash. Like you might be able to get through at least some of the early levels just literally mashing your way through. But especially when you get to some of the bosses, you really have to pay attention to their patterns and what heroes you have out for like a given thing. I want to say, so like minor spoilers for like one of the enemies. Hela is like a boss early on, and she has a couple different moves that she does that are kind of they're not area of effect, but they just impact a large amount of the screen, and you really have to kind of bounce back and forth between which heroes you're using and have the right combination. Because like you want like a brawler like She-Hulk or Captain America to like wail on them once like you can get close to them, but then you need like an Iron Man, a Nova, or a Spider-Man, like one of the characters that can either fly or move around really quickly to get the fuck out of dodge when they're doing one of those like bigger attacks. Otherwise, you just get destroyed. And similar to what you were saying in Expedition 33 with the boss that you're on, the bosses, they don't go through like crazy phases like in that game, but like once you get them whittled down on health, some of their patterns change a little bit. They'll add new attacks. They'll get a little more aggressive with things. There is no checkpointing before the boss. So if you die to the boss, you start over at the beginning of the level and have to do the whole level over again.
Okay, well, most games like this has like several checkpoints throughout the levels and stuff like that. That's crazy. It's wild that they turn it up and be like, nope, you have to do it all. Is that Magic that I see as one of the playable characters?
I believe so. Yeah.
That's such like, I mean, her and Beta Ray Bill are like such a like such deep cuts. I'm surprised. Like, I know Magic was in what was it, New Mutants, but like, and she did, I guess she's gained popularity from Marvel Rivals, but still, like,
actually, it does not look like Magic is in the game.
Who's that with a sword then?
The are you looking at like the game art?
Yeah.
Kind of top left, right next to Spider-Man above Nova.
No. Well, on next to Phoenix, below
I think we might be looking at two different images. Do you want to drop what you're looking at in the chat?
I'm looking at the image that's on Steam.
Okay, I was looking at the Wikipedia page. I'm assuming it is Phyla-Vell, which is what are those things called? God, I can't think of what they're called. Mar-Vell was one
image,
but Kree. Whatever Mar-Vell is, she is related to him. So she's related to Captain Marvel, like the original Captain Marvel. I want to say in this game she's Quasar, but I think she has been Captain Marvel in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, look, I just brought up the Wikipedia page. Apparently, she is also in the film Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Quasar, Guardians of the Galaxy
3? So not Quasar, the character themselves.
What's the character's name?
Phyla-Vell.
Phyla?
It looks like she was a child in Guardians 3. That is.
Oh, she's okay. Yeah, she's barely in it. She's like in the end, and it's just kind of a kind of more of a teaser, more so than anything. Like,
okay, yeah, like one of those.
She what is the High Evolutionary? That's the villain, right? Yeah. She was being held captive by the High Evolutionary. Her and like a bunch of her kin. They're all little kids. And they end up in thwarting the High Evolutionary's plans, rescuing all these kids. And she ends up joining the new Guardians because the Guardians themselves disband, essentially. Because at the end of it, because you haven't seen it, you're probably not going to watch it for a while, so I'm just going to say it. At the end of it, Star-Lord leaves and comes back to Earth to be with his grandfather. Drax, I don't remember what Drax does, but he does not stay with the Guardians. Rocket becomes the new leader of the Guardians with Groot, Phyla-Vell, maybe Nebula. I can't remember who else. And what's her name? Gamora goes back with the Reavers or Reapers, whatever they're called.
Okay, that explains why there's the whole Peter Quill or Star-Lord will return, but not the rest of the Guardians. Right now.
Yeah. Well, besides that, was there a new images saying that he'll return? Okay, so it was the new Guardians were Groot, who is now big and buff now, Cosmo, Rocket, who's the leader, Phyla, who is we've already talked about, the gold dude, and the Reaver who took over Yondu's whistle.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as the cosmic invasion goes, yeah, that's Quasar. But I would argue like that's a deep cut character.
Yeah, that's definitely a deep cut character. I thought it was somebody else. That is definitely a deep cut character.
I'd say even Nova is not like a super well known character outside of the comics.
Yeah.
Same thing, Cosmic Ghost Rider and Beta Ray Bill. Like they're definitely characters, in here where it's like if you don't follow the comics or have been watching like the animated series over the years, you'd have no fucking clue who any of those are because they're not MCU characters necessarily.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like so.
I think
been really
Beta
cool
Ray Bill may have been teased at some point, but not really.
Yeah,
like an actual, like he was on a side screening, like a cameo.
Yeah, but it's I think there was like a statue of him in one of the Thor movies. I vaguely remember something like that. But yeah, so the whole thing is a nihilist from the negative zone is trying to like invade 616. So you're fighting through like hordes of his minions.
According to Google AI, he is referenced as a previous champion in Sakaar in Ragnarok.
Okay, so that's where there is a statue of him.
Yeah, it's his face.
Yeah. But yeah, overall I'm really enjoying the game. I haven't beaten it yet, but it's a good one of those like side scrollers. It's a lot of fun. From what I hear, the multiplayer like co-op, it gets crazy because everyone has two characters. So like you're swapping in and out of your characters like crazy, and things become chaotic.
Yeah, it's definitely on my list. Is every game that people give me as a gift, unless they give it to me specifically to play it with me. Anytime I'm gifted a game, that game gets added to my list of games to play on stream. So it is part of my list. It is just, I gotta get through Expedition 33 first, and then I've got a couple of what is it called? Redemptions for reaching goal redemptions that I have to do as well. But I will play it.
Nice.
It's soon. Might once I get through Expedition 33 and I'm playing like less big games, I might I was like, maybe I could do like Side Scroller Sunday and just play that on Sundays or something.
Nice. Yeah, like it's a fun one. It's I'm not gonna say it's easy because there are actually a couple levels where like there is some challenge there. Especially with like I said, with some of the bosses. But it's nothing that's gonna take you a ton of time.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, as is tradition, we watched some movies on New Year's Eve.
Yes, so many movies.
Actually, not that many this year.
No?
No, so like we recorded, which like put a little break in it.
Right, yeah.
And then Papa was actually in town, so like he came over for a little while. But we ended up watching 3 movies. Yeah, 3 movies. I'm trying to bring up my letterbox just so I don't get the names wrong on any of them. So I'm going to start like worst to best, instead of just doing it in kind of the order we watched them. So we watched the movie Black Phone 2, which it was like 3 or 4 years ago now. We watched the first one, which was Black Phone, just the Black Phone. And it started like Ethan Hawke is like basically a serial killer of children. Like he abducted children and then like kept them in his basement and eventually murdered them and like either buried them under the basement, or we find out in this one like disposed of some in like a frozen lake. So this is a sequel to it. Did not enjoy it all that much. Thought the first one was actually pretty good. And the first one didn't really have much of like a supernatural element to it. It was much more grounded. The closest thing to supernatural was there was like an old disconnected phone in this basement where this kid was being held, and they kept getting phone calls on it. But that was very easy, and it was phone calls of like the other children that had been murdered and shit like that. But that was very easy to just like associate with like the trauma the child was going through. This one is set like so many years later. The kid from the first one is like late teens now, and his younger sister is also like 16. And she's having like these weird prophetic dreams where like something bad is about to happen. And then like as the movie progresses, those dreams start to like manifest in the real world. Like if she gets hurt in the dream, she starts getting hurt in real life. So it becomes a little too supernatural for a movie that like it just didn't really fit with what they did in the first one. Till you get to the end and it basically becomes Nightmare on Elm Street without any of the character that those movies have. So like would not recommend Black Phone 2 for sure.
Okay.
After that, we watched, I wonder which one was better. All right, I'm going to say the next one after that was called Good Fortune, which is a movie that stars Keanu Reeves, Seth Rogen, and Aziz Ansari. And basically in it, Keanu Reeves plays a guardian angel. But he is the guardian angel of texting while driving.
Yes, I've seen the trailer for this movie at least.
It was good. Like it's nothing like groundbreaking, but it was funny, like entertaining. Like we had a good time with it. So yeah, Keanu Reeves, like his entire existence is basically when somebody is about to get into a car accident because they're texting while driving, he serendipitously gets them to look up at the road and like prevents the accident from happening. So like the beginning of the movie, it's just him sitting in the backseat of a bunch of cars, just like tapping people on the shoulder right before the accident happens, so they like hit their brakes and don't get into an accident. And one of those people is actually Aziz Ansari that he does it for. And from there you start to follow Aziz, and his character is like down on his luck. Like he's he's like a documentary film editor. Lives in Los Angeles, but like that is not a very lucrative career path. So he's like working like all of the like the delivery service apps. Like they're giving them fake names because they don't want to pay for licensing, but like you can tell like he's supposed to be like a DoorDash driver. And what's the one where people will come like put shit together for you?
Fiverr?
Yeah, stuff like one of those sorts of things. But like it's Los Angeles, and he also works at a hardware store. But it's like Los Angeles, and he just can't afford anything. He's like living in his car, like down on his luck. And then Seth Rogen is ultra wealthy and is like an investment bro, like a nice guy though, like not like a shitty guy, but like he just has millions of dollars, lives in this big fancy house. He pays like the Fiverr-ish app, and Aziz shows up and like puts something together for him, and they kind of like hit it off in a way, and Aziz gets hired to be his personal assistant.
Okay.
And like things are good for a little while, but then like a mistake happens, Aziz gets fired, he's like super like depressed about it. He goes from being able to afford to live in a rundown motel to back into his car, and Keanu wants to be more than a text while driving guardian angel. He wants to actually like Miracle on 34th Street. It's a Wonderful Life somebody, and like have a real impact on them. And so he reveals himself to Aziz, explains he's a guardian angel, and then does like a not a body swap, like a life swap between Aziz and Seth Rogen, thinking that Aziz will like realize that his life wasn't that bad and that like money doesn't bring you happiness, and that's not how it goes. And so like the whole movie is like just all of those expectations where like when you see like A Wonderful Life, the character realizing that it's not so bad, not happening.
Okay.
And yeah, like it was good watching like Keanu Reeves' character kind of change over the course of the thing, because he's a very awkward angel at first, and then like by the end of it, he's like standing outside like a Mexican restaurant smoking a cigarette.
Yeah.
It was good though. Like I said, nothing like groundbreaking, but like worth watching.
Yeah. I wanted to see that.
Yeah, it's definitely worth checking out. I gave very broad strokes. That's basically what the blurb for the movie is. And then the last thing we watched was the new Knives Out movie, Wake Up Dead Man.
Okay.
Not as good as the last two. Not as good as Knives Out or Glass Onion, in my opinion. Still good. It was still like an interesting like mystery and everything like that. Great cast, but I feel like they weren't. I'm trying to think of the right way to put it. Like the actors were all really good, but they didn't have the same presence as the last two movies. Like, you know, like every character. You've seen Knives Out and Glass Onion, I think, right?
Or no, I've not seen either of them.
Oh, for some reason I thought you had.
No, I haven't. I'm behind on movies, man. I'm so behind on movies.
You know what? I think Drew has actually seen Knives Out. He may have actually seen Glass Onion too. So like both of those movies are very, but like not, like I'm trying to think of the right words. Like all of the characters in those movies are big personalities, in like good ways and bad ways. In this one, the character that dies, because in every one of these movies somebody dies, and you get a lot of like flashbacks to them alive as I can't think of his name, the guy who Daniel Craig's character, who's like your Hercule Poirot investigator, is trying to like piece together the mystery and declare who the killer was. In this one, it's Josh Brolin is the character that dies, and like, you know, as soon as you meet him, you're like, okay, he's the one that dies. And he's great. Like, he's so over the top and like just viscerally mean about certain things, but like no one else quite stacks up to him And like in Glass Onion, I want to say it was Edward Norton was like the guy that dies, but then you had like Dave Bautista as like a muscle bound like streamer,
Hmm.
like and I think like an alt right political streamer too, like something just like
Yeah.
totally crazy. And like the first movie you had like Chris Evans as like snobby rich kid. And this one you didn't quite have like those characters that like lifted everything up the way those two did, but it was still like a really like interesting mystery to follow to try and figure out who actually did it,
Hmm.
because they really do like they do it like, and these are Ryan Johnson films from like who the guy who did Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Like he does a really good job making these mysteries actually feel like mysteries, and you're not just, oh, that's the culprit, they did it. This might have been the only one that like I actually really guessed who it was.
Hmm.
And like even guessing who it was, like I didn't have the whole thing sort of figured out. I'm like,
Yeah.
I know this character is involved, I just don't know how.
Hmm.
But it was good nonetheless, and it was probably the best of the three. Also the longest. It was like 2 hours and a little bit and some change, which is also one of the reasons why we just didn't get through as many movies, because that was a long one. And it
Yeah.
was like that finished up, and then we didn't have enough time for another one before we recorded last week. So it was this weird like, all right, well, let's take a break, and then we finished recording. Erica and I had dinner, and then we finally got back to movies.
Yeah. Makes sense.
But still, two good movies, one not so good movies this year. And it looks like, what did I finish with this year? 65 movies watched.
Nice. I should track games beat. I should do that.
Yeah.
I should track games beat because like I'm not gonna include Expedition 33 because I mostly played that last year. But like moving forward from here on out, games that started and finished in the year. I should do that to track that because people tell me they're like, man, you beat more games than I've done in my lifetime. I'm like, really? Like, doesn't seem like it. Like,
I mean, you do beat a lot of games, but, and like, to your credit, like you for better and worse, you have that I have to finish the game mentality.
mhm.
But like, because you're streaming, like you're constantly rotating through games, and you generally
Yeah,
don't, unless you really hate the game, you generally don't stop playing it until you've completed it.
yeah.
Like I think the one Mega Man X game, I think, is one of the few games that you just like dropped. And even then, did you go
X,
back to that yet, or have you gone back to it,
no.
or are you
I think you're talking about X.
8 maybe, or 7? One of the late
Um,
ones.
I think you're talking X6. Because I beat X7, I beat X8 was the one that I had to go back to play the worst game I ever played. X6 was the one that like was almost the worst game. And the thing that stopped me was like one of the abilities just sucked so much, and it was near impossible to kill the boss without the ability, and I just didn't care. So no, I've not gone back to that one. But I think you're talking X6.
Maybe. I just remember like that there are not a lot of games that you just like quit. Like
Yeah.
you sort of power through them.
Yeah, like so X8 I played for an hour and was like, this is garbage, and I stopped. And I just could not just like I got stuck in a level for so long, and it was just a level on rails, and you had to learn the level layout because if you didn't learn it, then you were gonna fail. But it was X. I think it was X6. That like it's just there was one boss that like if you hit them with just a normal like shot, they would duplicate and triplicate and whatnot. But if you used the ability on it, it wouldn't. But the ability only had like 4 shots on it, so you would eventually have to use regular bullets on it or something. I don't remember. It was dumb and infuriating, and I just did not care. Maybe one day I'll go back to it.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah,
But yes, like I'm sure there is an app for tracking games too. Like,
I'm sure there is.
like
If not, I can just make a list.
yeah, you can just do a spreadsheet or something on Google
Yeah,
Sheets. Yeah,
yeah.
like because I've got like I have oh, what's it called? Letterbox does movies, and then I have like Goodreads for books.
I mean, in let's go to my channel. In since July at least, and I don't actually remember when I set this up. Silk Song, Romancevania, Demon's Souls, Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver, Doom, Dark Ages, Slime Rancher, and The Evil Within 1 and 2. So that's 8 games since June or July, and that's like not including like Celeste is on there, but I haven't done the last level yet, so I haven't moved it down to the finished category. Monster Hunter Wilds is on there, but that's a game that I consistently play, so I haven't moved it down to completed category. Yeah, so I apparently beat a lot of games, and that surprises me.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
you definitely do.
Yeah. Speaking of movies, real quick, did you ever see? I feel like you talked about it before. The movie Greenland, where it's Gerard Butler.
No, I know what movie that
Marina.
is, but no, I have never seen that.
I could have swore you have, because like could have swore you talking. I thought you talked about it and seen it, because I just realized I saw the trailer for Greenland 2, but didn't realize that it was a sequel. I thought it was just a new movie called Greenland, and like I was like, this movie looks really good, man. I want to watch it, and it's out now. And I'm like, I just realized, oh, this is a sequel to that movie. I did not realize that this was a sequel and it was a sequel to that movie. I'd never seen it, but I remember the trailer and video or some clips and stuff I've seen of. It just made me think of that.
Okay. I know the movie exists, but yeah, never actually saw it.
Yeah, I kind of want Greenland 2 looks pretty good, so like I kind of want to watch Greenland, and then it just came out. It's in theaters now, and it's like they're running out of food in their shelter that they're in, apparently, I guess in Greenland, and it's called Greenland 2 Migration, where they have to migrate from where they are to somewhere else. And like Earth is just in tatters, and like I think it's something like there's a crazy storm that happens, or this, that, whatever, and like it looks pretty damn good. And I'm like, if that interested me more than the original movie's trailer did.
Okay. Yeah, actually, I don't know that I realized it was like a disaster-y movie.
Yeah, that should be a category we do on Book Club.
Disaster
films? Yeah. Because that's just like, I know Drew would hate it, but honestly, that's just a very good, like, just shut off your brain kind of category of movies. We could do, was it 2020? God, that movie. Day After Tomorrow, Greenland, San Andreas. There's so many disaster movies.
Yeah, there really are. Because I mean, even if you go back to like 90s, you've got technically like Independence Day. It's a disaster movie. Armageddon, Deep Impact.
I get what you're saying with Independence Day, but like I wouldn't put that as that's an alien movie. That's not a disaster movie. Like Armageddon for sure is a disaster movie. What was the other one you mentioned?
Deep Impact.
Deep Impact, yeah. Like disaster movies are generally like natural disasters, like non-man-made. And Independence Day, I wouldn't consider it being a disaster movie, because although it's not man-made, it's aliens, it's humanoid made, it's intelligent life made.
No, I'd still argue it's a disaster movie.
I don't think I would say the category of disaster movie is natural disasters. And
I mean, if you want to do natural disasters, yes.
Yeah, well, that's what I call it. That's what I consider a disaster movie. Isn't like generally natural disasters where just like Deep Impact, Armageddon, 2020, like all the movies we've already mentioned. Let's just Google a list of disaster movies. I mean, technically, Greenland would be a disaster movie. Geostorm, Moonfall.
Oh, right.
Isn't that an alien movie? No, I guess not. I guess the moon is falling from the sky. Twister, I guess, would be a disaster movie.
Yeah, kind of. It's just on a much smaller scale, right?
Yeah. Contagion. Man, I didn't think about Contagion being a disaster movie, but I could see that.
Wouldn't
everything The Knowing is a disaster movie? Come on now. That is not a disaster movie.
What about The Happening?
The Happening, I guess you could say that is a disaster movie. I mean, if what I'm saying is non-man-made disasters being disaster movies, like, yes, you could argue under that definition that The Happening would be a disaster movie.
So I've actually never seen The Happening, so that was actually like a real question, not just
That's the M. Night.
theoretically.
I mean, according to Google,
It's the M. Night Shyamalan
according
movie with the trees, yeah.
according to Google, it is a disaster movie. I'm flipping through what they consider a disaster movie. They call Cloverfield a disaster movie. I know that's an alien invasion movie. Like Mars. So they're stretching it, calling Mars. See, and like that's where I don't agree. Like with alien movie, like that's an alien attack. That's an alien movie. Mars Attacks. Like there's a disaster happening with the aliens attacking, but that's not a just. But like I mean, if it, I would definitely be down to check out some disaster movies.
Yeah, there's
Both
enough
like
of them.
both like mainline and like sometimes even like the non-main like Hollywood disaster movies are great too. Like what is I don't know. I'd be down for that. I think that would be a very fun but ridiculous category. I mean, and even like to maybe pull Drew into it because I know he would not want to like. I don't think he'd like The Happening. What was it? What was it? There was a comedy on here that was on here. I don't remember now.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I don't remember. Where was it? Oh, I guess This Is the End is maybe what I was thinking.
Okay.
Is it a disaster movie? Like this is like it breaks it down like disaster movies and action adventure disaster and the disaster comedy where like it's like, oh, Gremlins is a disaster. No, that's not a disaster.
No, because like that one is like I feel like that one's a little too small scale.
Snakes on a Plane. I guess you could call that a disaster movie. It's kind of natural. It's more man-made than natural.
Yeah, I mean like it's not a disaster movie.
Yeah, that's an idea. Well, for next time.
Yeah, it is something to keep on the back for more of these.
Oh, that's what it was. Don't Look Up.
Oh, right. From like last year or the year before.
21. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh wow, it's that old now?
Yeah. I've not seen it, but that is a movie all about a comet hitting Earth. Like, and from what I know, spoiler alert, from what I know, at the end of the movie, the comet hits Earth. So it's all about leading up to that. So it's just I think it's more satirical than anything. I don't think it's supposed to be too super serious. Yeah, political satire, black comedy.
Yeah, no, it's funny. And it's at 100% how it would go if something like that really happened.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Is that? Oh no, but yeah, that's it.
Oh well, that's probably going to be a show then.
Yeah, that's a show. Hopefully, I'll get more to talk about next week.
Yeah, maybe you'll finish Expedition 33 by then.
Probably not. I mean, look, if I can beat Simon on Sunday, then yeah, we're beating Expedition 33 on Sunday. I'm not doing the DLC at this point. Like, I'm getting Simon done, and then I'm beating the game, and then I'm taking a break.
That's a good call.
Like, as soon as I beat Simon, as soon as I finish Simon, I'm going to the end of the game. It's just like and again, I don't want that to be like a symbol of like like I'm burnt out because it's taken me 2 months to get here and I haven't been playing consistently, but I also just want to play something new and I don't want to walk away and I'm just like if anybody else was playing the game when it launched and they defeated Simon and went to the end of the game, that'd be the end of the game. They didn't have the DLC until like 2 months until like a month ago. So
yeah, actually, I actually forgot DLC came out for it.
It was December. Like they released it because of like it's called the thank you update because they were thanking like the industry and everyone because they won all the awards.
Yeah, I did see it. I just forgot that it happened.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna skip that for now because I'll maybe I'll go back to it.
Nice. Yeah, you do what you got to do.
Yeah.
But with that said, if you'd like to find some more of our content, you can head over to www.one-quest.com. You can also help us out by supporting us at patreon.com/onequest. If you can't support us there with your dollars, though, you can go to your favorite podcast platform, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, rate us, review us, subscribe to us. All of those things help. You can also find us on social media, facebook.com/onequestonline or one_quest on Instagram and Twitter. And our Blue Sky is at one-quest.com. You can also send us emails to social@one-quest.com. And our YouTube channel is youtube.com/onequestvideo. then Rich, what does your streaming look like?
Twitch.tv/B_Walnuts for video game streaming, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. Like I've already talked about, Expedition 33, Sea of Thieves. I'm hoping to get back into Date Everything because I've been watching some of the clips that I have ready for that, and I'm like, man, this game is adorable, and I want to play that more. And then, like, we've got other games coming up, like the original Tomb Raider, the remaster at least, and uh, Life of Pi, and other games that I'm trying to talk slowly so that I can get to my channel to see what I have on my list to play, like Cuphead, Medieval, Life of Pi, the original Tomb Raider, stuff like that. And when it comes out in February, Resident Evil, because I am getting at launch.
Nice.
Yeah.
Like Resident Evil is not like something that like I feel like I need to play, but I do kind of want to check out the new Silent Hill game.
Oh, Silent Hill F, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard good things about it. I don't know, the trailer to me seemed like it was a little too actiony compared to what a Silent Hill should be, but yeah, I hear good things about it.
Same. And actually, real quick, just tacked on at the end of the episode, Awesome Games Done Quick is happening right now, which, Rich, I realize you don't care about. But cool thing that they did earlier in the week, it was either Sunday or Monday, they played Super Mario World backwards, which I like, not in like a skipped around the way they do in like RPGs and stuff like that, like going to different gyms and Pokemon in the wrong order. It is a ROM hack of Super Mario World where the entire game is played backwards. So even the text, other than like on screen, like your like stuff that pops up on the screen like in little boxes is still the right way. But like all, when you defeat a castle, you get that little like block of text telling you like Mario defeated Iggy Koopa's castle, blah 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 blah. All of that is backwards.
So instead of going left, you're going right. Or
no, you're going from right to left. Yeah,
yeah.
So you start at the end of every level. You start at the end of Bowser's world. The only thing they've done is they moved Bowser's castle to the yellow P switch on the first island, like on that mountain.
Yeah.
So it's literally the last level you can get to. So the first level you start with is whatever the last Koopaling's castle is in Bowser's world. So like castle 8 or 9. And yeah, you play the whole thing backwards, and it's really cool because there's certain things that the game, like, you're not meant to be able to go backwards in certain cases. Like the game will like, you'll jump off a cliff and like Mario can't naturally jump that high back, like going the other way. So like there are situations where you absolutely need either like a Yoshi or a cape to do certain things.
Yeah.
And obviously, like, you can get a cape like in Iggy's, or not Iggy's castle, in the castle at the end there. As soon as you start, there is a green block there to get a cape, because that's how the game was originally. There's a green block there right before the boss door. But in most levels, if you think about it, the like initial power-ups are at the beginning of the level. So like early on, if you want to keep getting capes, a lot of times you'll just keep going to that first level of the second island, because right away there's one of the flying Koopa dudes that you just jump on them and you get the feather from them. You can't do that when that level is one of the last like 5 of the game, and that part of the level is the last thing you do. Like there's not like a quick way to like grab power-ups again. And the game loads with all of the question mark blocks filled in. And as you're playing, so it was 96 exit. So the guy playing, he did every single exit for every single level, including levels that had multiple exits. And that included all the P-switch palaces. So as he was getting through it, he was actually removing the colored blocks. They were turning into the dotted lines again. And it was just, it was a really cool version of Mario World, especially if I know like you don't necessarily want to go back and play Mario World, but if it's a game where like you've played it, the traditional way a million times, doing it totally backwards would be pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because it's still the same game. Like they didn't they changed like little things in there as like just like goofs, but like they didn't change the actual level layout or anything. Like they didn't make it harder or like add anything to it that way.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was really cool to watch though. And yeah, it's a ROM hack. There's a million and one of those for Mario.
Yeah. So I got a little distracted because I saw a news article on my phone that Evangeline Lilly has brain damage, apparently. So Hope Van Dyne from
Yeah,
well, the
yeah, I knew
Wasp
that
from
is.
Marvel. Well, for the listeners, she apparently at some point last year fainted and like broke her face on a boulder while on vacation or something,
Ooh,
and has gained a concussion and has some traumatic brain damage. So, oof, that's rough. Like,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, that's no good. Um,
get well soon, Evangeline Lilly. Hopefully you can recover all that, but it doesn't sound likely.
I mean, so like sometimes you can like it takes you got to take
Yeah,
it one day at a
and
time.
concussions are no joke. So, and they can cause some major issues.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, but
Um,
that's all. I had
yeah,
seen that and I was like, oh shit.
but yeah, that is probably going to be an episode.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds about right. So yeah, we'll be back next week with something else to talk about. Thanks for listening. Bye.
See yous.